got eclipsed.
Yeah, it wasn't so impressive from here. And not just because it was cloudy,
Mm,
but I don't know what I was expecting. But sometimes when you get like a bright red moon or something or whatever, it's really big, But
mhm.
this was it was small.
I will tell anybody who's listening to this that everybody who's ever said going to totality is worth it was correct. Like it's
Okay.
so we did 2017. We were not in totality, and I remember that pretty well. And
Yep.
yesterday we drove not quite a ways. It was like 30 minutes, 35 minutes or whatever direction. And my daughter said it was the prettiest thing she's ever seen.
Wow.
Like it's truly like there really is a substantial difference between 99% and 100%.
Oh, I see.
Like it
Okay.
sounds like it's one no, like it's from you can look at the sun to you cannot look at the sun, and you just the pictures will it's like going to the Grand Canyon. The pictures just never do like the shimmering that you see from when it's
Yeah.
happening. And then you can legitimately like it took a couple quick photos because we only had it was like 2.5 maybe 3 minutes or whatever. But
Hmm.
you can legit see stars. Like I guess well they were
Yeah.
probably
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
planets for people who want to be technical. But you can legitimately see them like all around, and it was the wildest thing. So
Cool.
I'm sure more than one religious event has been. That was the thing my kid asked. She's like, "What would you people in the old days, as she called it?" She said, "What would they do?" I was like, "Well, they would go to church probably after this because they would think the world is ending."
Yeah. The cower and fear.
Yeah, I mean that like if you don't understand the concept of it,
Well, it doesn't happen enough for people to understand it very well, right?
right?
Like thousands and thousands of years ago, people understood the seasons and the moon's phases and all that kind of stuff. But, these solar eclipses are not, they're very
Although I was
occasional.
just looking up like all over the earth. It actually is a little bit more common than I thought. It's like roughly every 1.5 years somewhere on planet Earth it's happening. Something
Yeah.
like that.
No, right.
But
But
like in your
these,
area it's very rare.
right. These early societies were not connected in any way. So,
No, not even close.
yeah,
Not even close. So
it's like groups on Reddit, same thing.
just not connected to anything in reality.
Right.
That is yeah, that's nothing really else happened yesterday actually because
Jeez. Nothing else happened.
I don't know, did it? I actually was completely offline for most of the day, so I actually don't really know did
Yesterday
what
was a busy day for me. What happened yesterday? Probably nothing in the scope of things, but let me.
yeah, I mean
Oh, right, my internet doesn't work today. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. There's a headline floating around of Microsoft's finally confident that the Elite stuff is finally going to compete with the Apple
Oh,
stuff, and like it's like, like really, like that's not a great.
my response to that was it can't compete with anything until you fix Windows. I mean, I you've made Windows worse and worse with each passing month. When are you going to fix that? So it's
Well,
like we finally have hardware.
the the real sort of whatever is you can go back. It's back in the days when Brian Hall was still at Surface, so we're talking probably 8, 10 years or something like this.
Yeah, yeah.
And they would love to bring out the MacBooks and put them on state. Like Microsoft's still chasing that, and so if you're still chasing it
Yeah.
after this many years, like maybe it's not the hardware, maybe it's the combination, but
Well, to be fair to Microsoft, they have improved that platform a lot,
they have.
and I feel technically right. The Windows problems I'm speaking of are user experience
Mm-hmm.
problems, right? But yeah, the Qualcomm stuff just was never there, and now apparently it is. It seems like it is. I mean, based on
Yeah,
my own experience playing around with it, it seems fine. But I don't know.
yeah, it
I
is
don't know
what
what
it
to
is.
say. I don't know. I feel like Windows has persisted largely through inertia, you know,
Yeah.
and corporations just, kind of want to stick on the same version for reasons that actually increasingly make more and more sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think consumers care, per se. It's, the computer's a tool. You do it to use it, do a job. And I think a lot of the stuff that Microsoft does gets in the way of that, and it hasn't really happened yet. I have to be honest, but I keep expecting for this bad user experience, which anyone who uses a Mac or Linux or anything else would say is one of the reasons they don't use Windows anymore, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that, they might have left the platform in 2005 or something, and they're still convinced they made the right decision. But there are pros and cons to everything. But I just, I don't know. I'm amazed that there haven't been negative repercussions yet that
Yeah.
are obvious from the behaviors that Microsoft builds into this thing now.
I haven't complained about the Outlook Mail app recently, so I'm going to do that. Take a second here. There's, I've found another bug. So the worst bug, I guess it's a bug or whatever, is if you have two mail inboxes and you have a mouse that has a back button on it, like my MX Master 3, which like is probably one of the most popular productivity mouses on the planet. If you are, let's say, let's say you add Outlook and then you add Gmail or whatever, a secondary account, doesn't matter, literally doesn't matter. And you are in that second mail account and you click, I don't know, sent, and you hit the back button, it will always, no matter what, go back to the inbox of the first mail account you added. Does not matter. You can have
Wow.
you can have 7 mail accounts. Pick any one of them that's not the first one, and hit the back button. It takes you to the inbox of the first. That's not the bug. That one drives me nuts. However, if you're using your keyboard command and you're trying to delete a bunch of emails, so you're just like tapping delete. After you get about like 6 or 7 deletes, it like freezes and stops deleting and loses focus. It's fantastic. Anyways, a little stabby on that because I still haven't found a mail app that I like, and Thunderbird is not it for everybody who keeps messaging me.
I can't believe anyone would suggest Thunderbird, but I see the same thing sometimes, and I think, guys, are you serious?
It's
But
whatever.
yeah, I I think about Proton Mail a lot. That's another
Yeah,
service, I guess, but it has a
but it doesn't
different
do
obviously.
M365, which is a problem.
Okay, I see.
That's the hang up.
That's right. Yeah, 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 yeah.
So they,
Well,
yeah,
just a web app, man.
I don't know. I don't
Embrace
know
it.
what we're doing. I don't know. It's whatever. Anyways, Google's getting new ARM-based stuff as well. Apparently, everybody's doing ARM
Yeah,
stuff, which is, I mean,
yeah. There were 117 Google announcements this morning. I haven't
mm-hmm.
had time to go through them all. Like when we connected this morning, I had just turned on my computer, so we I'm having some kind of technical issue this morning because, of course, I am. Why wouldn't I be? But so I haven't had a chance to look at that stuff yet. But it looks like there are up to AI, Gemini, whatever updates across Google Cloud into Workspace. There's all kinds of stuff going on. So yeah, if you're in
Yeah,
the Google space,
there's Gemini 1.5 Pro in public preview. Google announced
mhm.
Vids, an app to help make companies and consumers make collaborative, shareable, and video things with Gemini. There's Image Gen 2 image generator is now generally available, and there's a new Gmail Help Me Write voice input and instant polish things coming to whatever. Google also has this new Find My Own device that is now in the US and Canada, initially for lost Android phones and tablets and third party trackers. So
Mhm.
they really just kind of vomited a bunch of stuff out onto the world.
Yeah, the Find My Device thing is weird. They announced that last year at Google I/O in
Oh, did
May,
they?
and they only are now, yeah, and they're only now releasing it. I don't know. I think part of the problem might have been, well, two things. One is they want to get the anti-stalker stuff built into it, but I think Apple and them and maybe the industry or whatever have
Mm-hmm.
agreed to a kind of a standard for that stuff. So Apple is incorporating this into their,
Hmm.
what are those things called? Apple, what are the Apple trackers called? Apple,
Oh,
whatever they are. Who cares?
it's not AirPods, AirTag.
AirTag, thank you.
Yeah.
So I think maybe that played a role too. But yeah, that's starting to roll out. I was surprised. I was thinking I would, have one device. I have a bunch of devices in there already. So all the Google stuff works. Like if you have Pixel tablet or
Mm-hmm.
Fold or their earbuds or whatever, those all work. The Samsung is in there. Um, so yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, it still has to go out throughout the ecosystem, but headphones and earbuds are going to support it. Some already do. And then the various third-party tags, trackers or whatever.
I'm
It's
sure
good.
Microsoft will get right on updating their earbuds and stuff to support.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as they add Cortana voice control to it, the platform's going to take off.
Oh, that's the
I've wasted my life, Brett.
yeah.
It's- you
I
know,
don't know. I don't know. It is what it is. What they say. What are we doing?
what are we
Oops,
doing?
I hit the wrong button. That's how this whole day has just been off. I meant to hit the outro button.
I'm gonna, when we're done with this, I'm gonna reset my internet connection and kind of hope for the best. But I've never had to do that with Aero yet, so
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's literally my internet provider, which is the most likely culprit. Honestly, the Eclipse probably screwed it up, right? That's how science
Yeah,
works, isn't it?
exactly. The totality was actually the totality of all your packets being eaten by the
The
sun.
totality of all my internet connection speed is 0.